Gunfire in the Strait of Hormuz. Boats sunk, drones down. Oil prices up again. Chaos at the Met Gala. Greetings, humanity. Let's grok the news, starting with the most important story in the world today. Dateline, Washington, D.C. U.S. and Iranian forces clashed in the Strait of Hormuz today as President Donald Trump's administration pressed forward with naval escorts under Project Freedom to reopen the vital waterway. American warships and helicopters sank at least 6 to 7 Iranian fast boats and shot down drones and missiles after Iran launched attacks on commercial shipping and struck an oil facility in the United Arab Emirates. The escalation marks day 67 of heightened conflict. U.S. Central Command confirmed 2 American-flagged merchant vessels successfully transited the strait under destroyer protection, while Iran warned that we are just getting started. President Trump described the Iranian activity as not heavy firing, but stopped short of declaring a full ceasefire breach, cautioning that any direct attack on U.S. vessels could bring devastating retaliation. He indicated the conflict could continue for up to 3 more weeks. In pointed public statements, Trump said the Iranian people need guns and would fight as good as anybody, once armed, while Senator Lindsey Graham, the Republican from South Carolina, endorsed the idea of a Second Amendment solution for anti-regime forces. These remarks come amid growing calls to support Operation Elements inside Iran. This observer believes it would be an historic level of shame if we do not. NATO allies are showing signs of buckling under Trump administration pressure to bolster the operation, even as European leaders continue to express not-so-private reservations about escalation risks and energy fallout. Oil prices surged on the violence before partially stabilizing as markets assessed Trump's pledge to guide ships safely through the choke point, which carries nearly 1/5 of global oil. The UAE reported a large fire at an oil site following Iranian missile and drone strikes, with 3 Indian nationals among the wounded. South Korea confirmed one of its vessels was damaged. Iran accused U.S. forces of killing 5 civilians on passenger boats, a claim Washington disputes, insisting that strikes targeted military threats. This observer wonders how well the Iranian passenger boat tourist industry is really doing in the Strait of Hormuz, and how stupid a lie the Iranian military expects the world to swallow. Of course, they are used to dealing with European cowards and American Democrats. Meanwhile, Israeli strikes killed dozens in southern Lebanon in recent days, despite the fragile ceasefire, adding layers to the regional volatility. In Washington, the White House was briefly locked down after Secret Service officers exchanged gunfire with an armed suspect near the Washington Monument, an incident echoing prior security concerns from the White House correspondents' dinner attempt. Frankly, this observer believes that these addled activists are going to do what addled activists do, no matter what provocation they receive from the press. Analysts describe control of the Strait of Hormuz as the central battleground. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps released a new map highlighting its reach, while the U.S. insists on enforcing freedom of navigation. European unity talks continue amid defiance of some Trump demands on sanctions and military support. Whose side are they on, anyway? Not even their own people's, apparently. The human and economic costs mount, with Iranian unrest reports and fears of a wider energy crisis hitting Asia and Europe. President Trump frames the mission as essential for global energy security and a check on Iranian aggression. As escorts persist and diplomacy simmers, volatility is expected in the days ahead. I'm Robert Gardner, using GROK each weekday to truthfully summarize the news. Well seasoned with my opinions, we review a roundup of the most critical reports in the world right after this. M.S. Gardner, that's my beautiful, brilliant wife. Well, she's author of last year's Moon Meridian Prize winner from April Gloaming Publishing, Wolf's Bane, a dark, serious, modern take on an old fairy tale. I tell you, you've never heard Little Red Riding Hood told like this. A Southern Gothic story for adults that you can't put down. Wolf's Bane. Available now at thecuriousauthor.com. All one word, thecuriousauthor.com, or, of course, on Amazon. Now we grok the headlines from around the world. Dateline Southern Lebanon. Israeli forces conducted strikes killing dozens in Lebanon within days, despite an existing ceasefire with Hezbollah. Cross-border tensions persist. The actions come amid broader regional fallout from the Iran conflict, the masters of Hezbollah raising fears of renewed full-scale fighting along the volatile border. Dateline New York, New York. The 2026 Met Gala lit up Manhattan under the theme, Fashion is Art. Okay. Beyonce made a stunning return after a decade away, appearing alongside her daughter Blue Ivy, while Rihanna, Sabrina Carpenter, wearing striking dresses made of film strips, and Blake Lively, who incorporated artwork by her children. They all dazzled on the red carpet. Venus Williams, Isha Ambani in elegant traditional grace, and designer Manish Malhotra's textural drama also turned heads as Heidi Klum and others celebrated artisans and bold couture. This observer is going to have to speak with GROK. How is this one of the top stories in the world? Dateline Leipzig, Germany. 2 people were killed and many more injured when a driver deliberately plowed into a crowd with his car in central Leipzig. Police arrested the suspect and are investigating possible terror motives. No kidding. The attack shocked the German city, prompting heightened security and public calls for vigilance amid rising concerns over vehicle rammings across Europe. Officials offered condolences as the so-called investigations continue. This observer and many of you know why these things are happening in Europe. Dateline China. An explosion at a fireworks factory killed at least 26 people and injured dozens more in Luiyang, according to state media. Rescue teams continued searching the site in what marks another deadly industrial incident this year. Authorities have launched a full investigation into safety violations as grieving families demand accountability from local officials. This dateline still in international waters, a suspected hantavirus outbreak on a stranded Atlantic cruise ship has now produced at least 7 confirmed or suspected cases and 3 deaths. Health authorities are closely monitoring passengers and crew while the vessel remains isolated. Experts are examining how the virus spreads easily in confined ship environments. Oh, this observer knows plenty of Dr. Moms out there who could tell you how a virus spreads in a confined area like a cruise ship or a daycare. Maybe these medical experts need some truly expert advice. Paging Dr. Mom. Dateline Tampa, Florida, the USA. U.S. Border Patrol agents in the Tampa sector have arrested 1,000 child sex predators over the past 4 months in a major enforcement push along the southern border. The operation underscores intensified efforts against human trafficking and exploitation networks. Officials hailed the results as a significant victory for child protection. Again and again, this observer is stupefied by the sheer amount of child sex trafficking that there is in America. 1,000 suspects arrested in Tampa alone? For the problem to be this big means institutional corruption from the bottom to the top for a long, long time. No wonder an entire political party hates Trump like rabid animals. Dateline Kolkata, India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's BJP secured a historic victory in West Bengal, conquering one of India's toughest political frontiers, long dominated by regional parties. The win signals a major national shift. In Tamil Nadu, actor Vijay also achieved blockbuster success in state politics, where veterans previously failed. Dateline Sacramento, California. Regulators in that state have moved to suspend State Farm's license, accusing the insurer of mishandling claims after the devastating 2025 Los Angeles wildfires. The action could disrupt coverage for thousands of homeowners. Like that will help. State officials cited repeated violations in processing wildfire-related insurance claims. Dateline Miami, Florida. A Secret Service agent was arrested for alleged public, let's just say a sex display, when he gratified himself in public in Miami, delivering an embarrassing blow to an agency already stretched by heightened security demands. The incident is under internal review and raises fresh questions about personnel standards amid recent high-profile incidents. This observer must finally admit that the U.S. Secret Service has proven itself a laughingstock in recent years and should be dismantled and started over. Whatever they are doing, whomever they are hiring, it is clear that the protection of the president and others is far from the top priority of the United States Secret Service. Dateline Washington, D.C. Well, Secret Service officers exchanged gunfire with an armed suspect near the White House, prompting a brief lockdown of the complex. The incident occurred near the Washington Monument, which is close to the White House. Officials confirmed the exchange but reported no injuries to protected personnel in this latest security test. This observer is glad that these agents seem to have done their job. He hopes the rest of the Secret Service can measure up in the coming weeks and months of a contested and bitter election season. Dateline Jakarta. Indonesia and Japan have signed a new defense pact as Tokyo eases arms export restrictions, deepening security cooperation amid regional tensions. Mark that as both nations are concerned about China. The agreement covers joint exercises and technology sharing and marks a significant step in bilateral ties as both nations navigate evolving Indo-Pacific dynamics. Dateline China. Chinese investigators determined a deadly plane crash was caused by fuel cutoff, according to the official report. The findings detail mechanical and procedural factors. Aviation authorities vowed stricter safety protocols to prevent similar tragedies in the future. And this is a dateline for all of America. Country music legend Dolly Parton canceled her Las Vegas residency due to health issues, but assured fans that she is responding well to treatment. The icon shared an update on her condition. Her dedicated following expressed support and anticipation for her eventual return to the stage. This observer joins in the best wishes and prayers for this notable celebrity, Dolly has always seemed to be one of the good ones. And I thank you for listening. Please join me tomorrow to once again grok the news. I'm Robert Gardner. Godspeed and God bless.